Hi, my name is Chris Gober. I'm the pastor at First Montgomery, and I want to talk to you today about Drive-In Church. Give you some ideas of what we're doing, how it's working for us, and maybe give you some things to think about to see if it might be a benefit for your church. First off, we've done this for 2 weeks now. First week we had 187 people come, and the second week it jumped to 259. So I feel like it has connected with our church. My feeling of this is that we're at risk of losing community in our church as we spend weeks and weeks apart. That is a burden I feel. I know a lot of the pastors in the area feel the same. It is a challenge to maintain community when we can't actually be in touch with each other. So, I feel like this drive-in model lets my people see each other, even 6 feet apart. They can roll a window down. They can talk through a roll down window and say, hello, how are you? They can talk to each other, visit with each other, see their friends. I still have my staff walk amongst the cars, keeping a distance between each other and keeping a distance from the car windows. But they still walk around and greet, wave to everybody, catch up with everybody, try to maintain that community as much as possible. I spend a good chunk of my time before the service going around trying to greet every car and welcome them to the service, just to maintain every little bit of community that we can get out of this. We also keep the greeting time, but have them turn to their neighbors to the left and to the right in the cars, wave to them, tell them hello. That's as much of a greeting as we get to do, but it's better than nothing. It's important that we consider the community of the church. I've got a lot of senior adults in my church, and online only options often don't reach them as well as I would like for them to be reached. So I noticed at our drive-in services, even the oldest of my congregation were able to come and participate, even though they're in isolation right now. Also, the stay-at-home order that was issued does specifically allow for drive-in church. So that is still an option for everyone. We are also live streaming our service. I think live streaming is a good option for a lot of people, even when we're not under the quarantines that we're under right now. I think those are good alternatives for us and things that we should probably consider continuing just for the kingdom's sake moving forward. But there is some caution that I see happening in our live stream feeds. Most of us are new to this live stream thing, so a lot of pastors aren't completely comfortable with it yet, which is totally understandable. But in particular, I look at Facebook Live to gauge the success of live stream feeds. One of the things you can do if you're watching a replay of anyone's live stream, when you pause that video, you'll see a graph at the bottom of the screen. This graph indicates how many people they had over time watching their live stream. So you can see when most of the people are watching, but you can also see when people join and when they drop off. I went through, I'm not interested in picking on any churches at all. I think this is not a problem with a particular church, but it's more of a particular technology. If you look at the graphs of many of the churches that I looked at, they start out strong during the first part of the worship service when the music's playing. They seem to be engaged in there, but there is often a really strong drop-off when the preaching starts. If you're streaming, I encourage you, take a look at your streaming numbers over time and see if your streaming numbers are maintaining their levels all the way through the service like you want them to. I know it's a passion of the pastors to preach the Word of God and make sure that we're teaching well in our churches. And when we try out new technologies like this, we have to look at how effective they are and make sure that it's accomplishing what we want to accomplish. I've noticed in our own live stream, our numbers sustain all the way through. So we've done live stream twice now with Drive-In Church paired together. And our numbers don't flatten out at the end. They maintain or even end on a strong note, which is unusual for a streaming-only platform. You got to remember, when we're streaming only, people are sitting in their homes and we're competing with lots of other entertainment options, lots of other distractions, lots of other things they could be doing, texting, getting a phone call, getting a video message, getting all sorts of things, alerts from their apps. I mean, we're competing for their attention during that time. And once the sermon starts, it seems like we're losing some of those people. So I think the benefit of drive-in church is that they're all present with you and focused on what's happening, just like they would be in church. So how do we do drive-in church? Initially, we wanted to use a big field that we had. Weather has not really permitted that and doesn't look like it will permit that for the next couple weeks. So we moved to a paved parking option. So we've set up right in the middle of our 2 paved parking lots, and we erected a temporary stage and under an awning. So we're good for all weather, and we set up our worship, a subset of our normal worship. We have some bongo drums and a acoustic guitar and a vocal, and that's our entire worship for this. We have all of our audio playing over 2 loudspeakers so that if you have no other way of listening to service, you can still hear it with your windows down in your car. But we are broadcasting everything over an FM radio transmitter. Now, this transmitter broadcasts very short distances, so you're looking at maybe a quarter of a mile that this thing will broadcast in every direction. That's plenty for most of our church areas, but it's not going to be something they pick up in like a neighboring town or something 5 miles away or something. So these are low power. Ours is a 7 watt and has more than enough power to cover all of the 10 acres that we're sitting on. This transmitter cost us about $60 or $70 on Amazon. It's been sold out for a long time now. You'll have to look online and see if you can find a similar product. But I'm putting a picture here of what we got. I have found that a lot of our people are actually using the Facebook live stream to watch the service during service. So if you're in the back of the church parking lot, even if you have good visibility to me, you may not be able to see me because I'm small, just because of distance. Our folks just on their own started tuning into the Facebook live stream to be able to pick up the audio and the video at the same time. So even if you don't have an FM transmitter, if you're Facebook live streaming the service, your people may be able to tune in their cars and hear and see what's happening even without the FM transmitter. That Facebook Live may be enough of an option depending on your own cellular internet connection and how well that is supported in your area. The goal of ours is to be zero contact. That has some really big implications. So we tell everyone to come in your car, stay in your car, leave in your car. Don't get out of your car for any reason. This will keep you basically isolated from everyone else and give you the best chance of not coming into contact and exposing yourself to the virus. So the biggest drawback of this is that we don't allow access to the building for restroom access. Now, in my opinion, if we did that, we would risk exposing our people. So we have ruled that out. You may decide differently, but there are options we've considered. But for now, we're not allowing access to the building. We're not handing out any bulletins, worship guides, programs, anything like that. We send them to our website at firstmontgomery.org. And when you go there on our homepage, there's a special section for drive-in church. And in there, we have a PDF with the lyrics to all the songs, the schedule for all of our Bible studies that we're doing over Zoom, and the order of worship. So that's all there in one document. We also have, in replacement of children's church, we have a series of YouTube videos we link to so that while the kids are waiting for church to get started, they've got some songs they can sing, they've got some Bible stories they can read, and they've got a message from our children's pastor, just telling them glad you're here and kind of talking about the subject of the week. So that gives us some children's ministry we're able to do while the kids are waiting. And then we also have my sermon notes on there. So the slides I would normally put on the screen with the verses and the main points and those sorts of things. That's in the sermon notes. And then we offer what we call our response card, whatever it is that you use to let people indicate a response to you, or a visitor card or whatever. All that's merged for us in our response card. And there is a Google form we're using that they can go and fill out and submit that in. I have not seen the ones from this Sunday, but last Sunday we had 3 of those submitted, and one little girl prayed the prayer of salvation with her grandma in her car. So I'm supposed to be able to talk to her this week and talk to her. So I'm excited about that. But you can still get that information from your people, even with zero contact, through a Google form. And then we also have a link to our online giving. We also have 2 big blue trash cans that are offering buckets on the way out. So we made signs next to each of those so that people can leave an offering in there if they so choose. And the people are staying in their cars. They're not getting out and roaming around. So that seems to be working, which is good because we've got to stay compliant with what the county has issued. So I just want to encourage you, consider this. Consider Drive-In Church as a model for your church. Every church is different. Your people are different than my people. Your location's different than my location. Your skill sets may be different than my church's skill sets. You may be able to do something way better than what we've been able to do. But it is a way to do something that's sanctioned by the county still, and is a way to have community. And our people seem to really appreciate our dedication to meeting together in person. There is a feeling of victory when everywhere around you is prohibited from meeting, and you're able to come together and worship God out of sheer determination to do so. It's a great feeling in the church, and they're very excited about it. So I expect to continue this until either someone tells me it's illegal, or until they let us resume worship service as normal. So this model for me is our plan forward, and it's scalable for us. So I expect to be here for many weeks. God bless you. If there's anything at all I can do for you, my email is chris@firstmontgomery.org, or my cell number is 832-771-6408. I am happy. I've already helped a dozen churches to start these for them, and I would love to help you if I can in any way. God bless you. I'm praying for you. I know it's a hard season in the church, so we all need to be thriving together, and that's my prayer for you.